What's going on YouTube? This is Victor on the Let Me Explain show, and what I'd like to do is just take a look at Doge and apply some technical analysis to it. So if you're new to Robinhood, that's the platform I'll be using. I'll be looking at two indicators that I look at to get a sense of where the stock might be going. I say might be going because the indicators may be faulty sometimes. They're not 100% accurate. So you need to bear that in mind, but at least it will give you some guidance into what you're looking at and when to get in, when to get out. So the two indicators I'll be looking at are the RSI, the relative strength index, and the MACD, which is the moving average convergence divergence. Don't worry about it if you don't know too much about those, but I just thought it would be interesting to look at Doge, coupling it up with those two indicators. So we're going to jump right into the computer right now and take a look at it. So what I have here is Doge open on Robinhood already, and as you can see, the price is 0.0115 blah 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 cents. So it's just over 1 cent. And for those who've been tracking Doge, you know that it came a long way. If we look back just a week back, it was actually at 0.004 cents. So it basically went up 169% from, let's look at the 30th of December, 29th, 30th, it was at 0.46, and today it's at 0.01. So that's an increase of about 157% in the last month, and in the last week, sorry. And in the last month, it's an increase of 240 to 50%. In the last 3 months, 346% increase, and in the last year, 478%. Last 5 years, 11,600 plus percent increase. So we'll be looking at the daily chart, and we're going to apply our fundamentals, our technical tools there. So the first thing I would do is I would expand the chart, and once I've expanded it, I've already got the indicators down here, but you'd want to go to add data over here. So I'm just going to click on it and remove them so I can show you how I added those. Oopsie. So let's just remove them first so we have a clean start. And if you want to know what MACD and RSI are, I will link the document below. Investopedia is a great website where you can research the meanings of these indicators. But as I go through them, I will explain briefly what I'm looking at and how I'm using it. Okay, so we're looking at Doge right now. Wow, this was an amazing peak. So we're gonna go add data and RSI, relative strength index. So anything above 30 is going towards the overbought section. That means the stock is in an uptrend, and anything 30 and below is it's oversold. So it's in a downtrend basically. This would be a great place to enter the stock, but how do you know when to enter it? So what we're gonna do, as you can see, before I go into what we're going to do, if we look at the RSI, it doesn't really give you too much information about where you would enter, for example, because it's basically mimicking the graph of the stock. So this just basically shows you the uptrend and the downtrend of the stock. What I use is the MACD. So that's the moving average convergence divergence. And the line I want to concentrate on is the blue line crossing over the red line, or crossing under it. So this is where the convergence aspect of it comes in. And if we look at the MACD, which is with the blue line here, you can see that it's dipped down and crossed over here. And if we look at the stock chart, where this line is going up, you can see that the stock dipped right there. And this happened when the blue line started to come down and the stock fell. And once again, as the blue line is coming down, the stock is also coming down. And as it consolidates over here, the stock is also consolidating. We can see two bottoms over here as it meets resistance over here. And then as the blue line of the MACD curves up, guess what? The stock begins to rise again. But and when it crosses over, this is the signal I want to watch for the crossing over of the signal. And as it crosses over, the stock begins to rise. And what I like is when there's more divergence between these two lines, then that that indicates to me a strong trend. And in this case, it's an okay trend. It's not exactly where I want it to be, but I like the direction it's taking. It's taking more of an upward direction there. If you take a look over here, it was a bit choppy. It wasn't a very strong line, and it faltered over there and came straight down, all the way down to here. And so far I'm comfortable staying in the stock, but the moment I see this signal appearing here, the blue line appearing like this, I get worried about it. I get ready to exit the stock. So this is where I would exit the stock. Once the line begins to drop, I would exit right there. That's when I would sell. And if it crosses over, I'm definitely out. And I don't buy when it's still here. I don't buy when it's there. The crossover for me is a signal. It's not a confirmation. I would like to wait for the line to actually go over the red line. And for me, that's a confirmation. That's when I buy into it. Let's look at the weekly chart to see how the MACD was performing then. Actually, it's quite a boring chart because Doge was relatively flat throughout the week. And as you can see, as the blue line takes off over here, the stock is taking off. And this is what I was talking about. When you look at the gap between the blue and red line, the stock is going up exponentially. And over here also, the gap between the blue and red line is huge. And if you look at this, the jump in the stock, it took a massive jump over there. So over here, it's a bit tricky to be in the stock for me because it's too close to the red line, and it could indicate that it might come down at any moment. But then again, there's nice volume over there, so there's strong buying happening there, so there's confidence in the market, and I would jump into that there. Let's look at a month. So once again, with the monthly chart, Doge was flat for a very long time. As you can see, the RSI actually read flat from December 11th all the way through to December 17th. That means there was hardly any activity there, and it got really choppy. Activity started coming in, and then boom, it happened. It happened all of a sudden. And when you really look at this chart, let's try to zoom into it and see. Over here is where the crossover happened. As you can see, it came right through. Here was a weak crossover. Like I was mentioning, that when the lines are far apart, it's a stronger signal for me. Here, these are weak signals, and as you can see, the stock wasn't doing much. But here, when the gap started widening, then you see that the stock began to climb further. So that's what I like to look at. Those are the two indicators I like to look at when I'm trading stocks. And if we look at the yearly chart, once again we can see that the RSI right here, it was oversold. Sorry. So there was hardly any activity there. People were really selling, and this would have been a great time to get in if the Doge had strong fundamentals like a company that you could look at the history of, the leadership of. But this is cryptocurrency, so there's really no way of telling where it's going to go, where it's going to end up. And all you can do is follow the news, follow the trends, and see how to trade it. So basically, those are the two indicators that I use to track and trade Doge. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please give it a like, and you can subscribe to the channel if you want, but don't be surprised if you see a review of robots coming next, because my channel is really eclectic. I like to do videos about whatever interests me. But yeah, so that's about it. And if you're not on Robinhood, it is a free app to trade on. You do need a bank account. You don't need to make a deposit to open the account first. You can open it for free, then make a deposit as your money comes in. And also, there's another platform that I like to use called Webull. And these two platforms, when you join, they actually give you a free stock on your initial deposit. With Webull, it's $100 initial deposit. But Robinhood, I think it's free to join as soon as you link your bank account. So this has been Victor on the Let Me Explain show, and I'll see you in the next one.